Hello, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making oven cooked baby back ribs. If you were to ask me, Kathy, what's your husband's favorite meal? I would say, without hesitation, baby back ribs. They are his absolute favorite, and he is a rock star when it comes to cooking them. When we're at our cabin, he'll slow smoke them, and they're so good. But I'm gonna give him a break today, and I'm making these in the oven, and they're so fast and easy. We absolutely love them, and I'm going to show you a simple way to get that sweet, smoky taste right in your oven. Who wants to stand over a grill when the heat index is 108 degrees? Folks, that's hot here in Dothan, Alabama. If you have a go-to rub, then go to it. If you don't, I'm going to show you something really simple. I am going to use 2 tablespoons of this dark brown sugar, actually heaping tablespoons. I'm not going to level it off. And you can go into your kitchen and you can pull out every spice you have, and that is just fine. I'm going to use some seasoned salt, and I'm using a tablespoon, and that's going right into my sugar. This has your garlic powder, your onion powder. It just has all kinds of good spices. But what's really going to kick this up a notch and give it that smoky flavor is smoked paprika. Make sure that when you use paprika, that it's the smoked paprika. There are so many different ones, but if you don't get smoked, you're not going to get that smoky flavor that we're looking for in these ribs. And I'm using a tablespoon. Stir this together, get it all mixed up. Now let's get talking about these ribs. This is about a 3.5 pound rack of ribs, and I'm gonna split these in half, and I'm using my cooking shears to do it. These are definitely your friend in the kitchen. And what I wanna do is just find in between these bones, and I'm going to just cut right through. This helps them cook a little bit more evenly, and if we don't eat them all, then I can just wrap up one and freeze it or save it for later. Now, on the back of these ribs, there's this membrane. We call it the silver skin. And it's optional to remove this. It definitely doesn't taste bad. But if you remove it, your ribs are going to be more tender, and your rub is going to get in the meat. This is kind of a barrier between your rub and your meat. And grab a paper towel and just pull. There we go. One is done, and look at the difference between the one that still has the membrane and the one without. You're still going to have some connective tissue, but it's just not as thick. Now for the next one. There we go. And just discard this. We don't need that. Now let's get this rub on these ribs. Just going to sprinkle a little bit on the back. You just want that rub to go right on those ribs. And just wait until you smell these cooking. Oh, they are fantastic. When my husband walks in the door, he just is one happy guy. What can I say? Hey, and I'm wearing camo today, his favorite. He'll be really happy. And ladies, this is a great meal for Father's Day. Give your dad or your husband a break and just get in there and make him some ribs. Yum. Okay, now I'm just gonna press this in, and the sugar serves a dual purpose. It tastes good, but it's also going to caramelize and just make this nice coating. Let me wash up. I'll show you what we'll do next. These are ready to go into my pan. Another reason why I like cutting these in two is because it's hard to find a pan big enough to fit them in. So just have one of these throwaways, which I love, and these are going right in. Look at that. Don't they look wonderful? Now these are going into a preheated 400-degree oven, and we're going to cook them for 20 minutes at 400 degrees. That high temperature is going to sear the meat and just help that rub to stick. And at the end of the 20 minutes, I'll show you what we'll do next. It's already smelling so good in this kitchen. Now these have cooked for 20 minutes, and now I'm going to cover them with tin foil. Now these are going back in the oven, and I'm reducing my heat to 350 degrees, and these are going to slow cook for an hour and a half. And believe me, when they come out, they are going to be fall off the bone tender. Look at these ribs. I can't even tell you how good it smells in this house right now. Now, I've pulled them out of the oven and I've let them cool just enough to where I can handle this without using oven mitts. Now, this has made what I am going to call broth. The drippings from these ribs make the best addition to green beans. I promise you, if you use this in your green beans, you'll see why I'm saving it. There's just nothing like it. The smokiness from the paprika and the drippings from the baby back ribs, a little bit of sugar, so good. There we go. This will keep for a couple of weeks at least. Now I have my oven on a low broil, and what I'm about to do is add this sauce. These are going to be so good. Now use whatever sauce that you like. We personally like Sunny's, and I'm going to flip these over. You can just tell that that meat is so tender. And I'm going to add a little bit to the back. Just wipe that on, make sure that it gets all over those ribs. And I'm going to flip these back over. And now for the top. Just add as much as you like. Now look at these. Don't they look wonderful? Now this is where you have to be really careful. I've got my oven, like I said, on a low broil, and I am going to watch this. What I'm looking for is this sauce to caramelize and look almost burnt. I said almost, and that's going to give it so much flavor. Here we go. Look at these. For me, this is perfection. There's a fine line between just right and burned, so you definitely want to keep an eye on it. This cooked in my oven at a low broil for 10 minutes, so it's going to vary depending upon your oven. Oh my goodness. And don't think for a minute that this sauce is going to go to waste. Drizzle some of that back on the top. Now, it's always a good idea to let these rest. They'll be easier to cut. They won't fall off the bone quite as much if you do. Look at all of the meat on these. Yum. I can hardly wait. Let me see if I can do this and keep everything intact. Just want to find that bone and cut right in the middle. Do you see how easy that knife goes through these ribs? 20 minutes at 400, an hour and a half at 350, low broil for the sauce. And look, oh, yikes. This is hot, y'all. Look at this rib. This is perfection right here, or as close as you're gonna get, especially for cooking them in the oven. Just a simple little rub, just some store-bought sauce. Hey, there's some great recipes out there for homemade sauce. I've got a couple, but I'm not doing that tonight. Let's see how we did. Y'all, this is so good. This is so tender. Oh, it's hot, but look how it's pulling off the bone. You just don't get any better than that. My husband is gonna be a happy man. I'll tell you, it's gonna be a good night at the Phillips house tonight. Finger looking good. You are a blessing to me. Thanks so much for watching. Press that like button, share it with your friends, and happy Father's Day. I'll see you next time.